So, I guess this is my way of getting it all off my chest. Maybe I'll delete it later, maybe not. But if you're reading this, strap in, it's about to get wild. I've been married to my wife, Lily, for 6 years. We've been together for almost 10. No kids, both in our early 30s, decent jobs, shared bills, shared Netflix. Nothing spectacular, but solid. Or so I thought. You ever have that weird gut feeling that something's off? It started small. She started locking the bathroom door. Not a big deal, right? But she never used to. I'd knock, and she'd sound startled, like I'd interrupted something. Then there was her phone, always face down, notifications silenced. She used to hand it to me to Google stuff when we were driving, or if she was in the shower and I needed a recipe. Now, it's like Fort Knox. That thing might as well be welded to her hand. The first time I seriously started wondering was when she claimed she had to work late. I called her office to ask about a dinner recipe I couldn't remember. Her coworker casually said she'd left hours ago. I didn't say anything that night. Just watched her come through the door at 9:15 p.m. in the same outfit she left in, hair a little tousled, makeup smudged. Said she got held up helping her boss with a last-minute presentation. Smiled. Kissed me on the cheek. I didn't kiss back. Since then, I started taking mental notes. The patterns. The inconsistencies. Every time she forgot her charger and had to go back to the car. Every time she needed space and would go for an hour-long walk around the neighborhood. I even tried following her once. Lost her at a red light. It wasn't just the paranoia. It was the way she stopped laughing at my jokes. The way she looked over my shoulder when I was talking to her. Like she was already somewhere else. But here's the real kicker. I still don't know who it is. I don't even have a name. And that's the part that's driving me insane. There's no guy from work. No suspicious texts I've been able to find. No late-night calls. Just someone, hiding in plain sight. I'm not proud of how I did it. I waited until she was in the shower. She left her phone charging on the nightstand. Face down like always. Locked, of course, but I'd seen her unlock it 100 times. Her passcode was her birth year, 4 digits. That was the easy part. The hard part was holding it in my hands, knowing that whatever I found would probably change everything. So I opened her messages. Nothing. No suspicious names. No flirty texts. No late-night heart emojis. But then I checked her recently deleted. Bingo. There were 6 texts, all from a number not saved in her contacts. The messages were barely anything. One said, "Last night was incredible. The memory is still fresh on me." Another just said, "Same time Thursday?" No names. No pictures. No, "Hey baby," or anything that would help identify the guy. But it was enough. I sat there staring at the screen, stomach turning. I could hear the shower running in the background, and all I could think was, she was with him yesterday. And now she's in there, washing off the evidence. I wanted to confront her right then, phone in hand, steam pouring out of the bathroom like a scene out of a bad movie. But something stopped me. I needed more. A name. A face. Something I could point to and say this. This is who you threw everything away for. So I screenshotted the texts. Emailed them to myself. Then I checked her calendar. And there it was. A recurring event every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. titled Run Club. Funny, she never once came home sweaty, or with running shoes, or even in workout clothes. Always in jeans or a casual dress, like she'd just come from dinner, or a hotel. Now here's the part that really messes with me. I asked her once, just casually, if I could come with her to Run Club. You know what she said? She laughed. Laughed like I'd told the world's dumbest joke. Said it was girls only. That I'd be bored, that I wouldn't keep up. Looking back, it was the first time I felt like a stranger in my own marriage. So I made a decision. I wasn't going to say a word. Not yet. I was going to follow her. Next Thursday. No excuses, no work late, no trusting her word. I was going to find out exactly where Run Club meets. And who's running with her. Thursday came fast. She got ready like she always did. Loose blouse, hair down, light makeup, no gym bag. No water bottle. I sat on the couch pretending to scroll through my phone while she packed her purse. You going to Run Club? I asked, keeping it casual. She nodded, grabbing her keys. Yeah, we're meeting at that trail behind the old library. Huh, you guys change locations a lot. She didn't even look at me. Yeah, variety keeps it interesting. She was out the door by 6:58. I gave her a 5-minute head start, then grabbed my car keys and followed. I stayed a few blocks behind. Cut the lights when I had to. She didn't go near the old library. Instead, she turned off into a small neighborhood about 10 minutes away, a place with older homes, quiet streets, barely any streetlights. She parked in front of a house I didn't recognize. No signs of a run club. No group of women in workout gear. Just one porch light on and a door that opened before she even knocked. That's when my heart started pounding. She walked in. The door closed behind her. And I just sat there in my car, parked down the street, hands gripping the wheel so tight they were white. I waited. 10 minutes. Then 20. Then 45. Then I saw the porch light flick off. I didn't move. Just kept staring at the house. Waiting for something. A clue. A face. A mistake. At 9:41 p.m., she came back out. Alone. Hair a little messier than before. She walked slowly, like she didn't want the night to end. I ducked as she passed, waited until her car drove away. Then I drove up to the house. Parked across the street. Lights off. No name on the mailbox. No cars in the driveway. Nothing. I couldn't see anyone through the windows. But someone was in there. Watching. I knew it. Because as I was about to drive away, the curtain moved. Just a little. Like someone was checking to see if I was still there. The next morning, she was glowing. I'm serious. Humming while making coffee. Hair still a bit damp from the shower. Tapping away on her phone like she didn't just spend the night in another man's house. I watched her. Every move. Every smile. Like I was studying a stranger in my kitchen. She caught me staring and grinned. What? Nothing, I said. You're in a good mood. Yeah, she replied. The run last night was amazing. You should have come. I nearly choked on my coffee. Thought it was girls only? She froze for half a second. Just a flicker. Then smiled again. Right it was. But still. Great weather. Felt good to move. Slipped. Just once. But it was all I needed. That day I called in sick and drove back to the house from the night before. Parked 2 blocks down. Waited. At 11:42 a.m., someone finally came out. A man. Maybe early 30s. Baseball cap, hoodie, beard. Nothing flashy. He got into a white sedan and drove off. I followed. At a distance. He pulled into a coffee shop 20 minutes later. Sat at a table outside, popped open a laptop. Looked normal. Looked boring. Like the kind of guy you'd pass on the street and never think twice about. I sat in my car, watching him sip a cappuccino and scroll through something on his screen. After half an hour, he packed up and left. I didn't follow this time. I had enough. That night, I brought him up, casually. Hey, I said over dinner. You know anyone who lives on Wilton Street? She didn't even look up from her plate. Wilton? No. Why? Just drove past it earlier. Thought I saw your car. Fort paused. Nope. Must have been someone else. Another lie. Clean, simple, and fast. And then she did something I didn't expect. She asked me, why are you acting weird lately? You've been quiet. Now that was rich. I could ask you the same thing, I said. She smiled. I'm fine. Just stressed. Work's been a lot. And then she leaned over and kissed me. Like nothing was wrong. Like our marriage wasn't bleeding out. Right there at the table. I kissed her back. Because I needed more time. I waited until 2:30 a.m. She was out cold. Probably exhausted from all that running. I crept out of bed, careful not to wake her, and tiptoed to where she always dumped her purse by the door. I never checked it before. Felt like a boundary I shouldn't cross. Not anymore. The usual stuff. Lipstick, receipts, gum, random pens. Then I found something wedged between her wallet and a pack of tissues. A key. Just a single silver key, no label. But it was on a separate ring. Like it wasn't meant to be kept with the rest of her stuff. I slipped it into my pocket and kept going. Then I found the burner. Not a literal burner phone, just her old iPhone. The one she claimed was dead, tucked in the side pocket of her bag. Battery was at 12%. I took it straight to the bathroom, locked the door, and plugged it in. No passcode. Idiot. I opened her messages. And there it was. His name was listed as M. Their messages were short. Flirty. Coded. Nothing too incriminating. Just enough to piss me off. Need you close to me. Thursday can't come soon enough. Still thinking about your neck. Gross. No pictures. No calls logged. She must have been careful. But the key? That told me she wasn't just seeing him. She had access. That house wasn't just his place. She'd been going there enough to need a key. I took photos of the texts. Every last one. Then put the phone back exactly where I found it. The next morning, she was her usual chipper self. Made pancakes. Wore perfume. kissed me twice before leaving for work. I stood there in the kitchen with a plate full of syrup and betrayal, staring at her empty coffee cup. She was cheating. I had proof. But still no last name. No idea who M was. Just the letter. Just the house. Just a key in my pocket. It took me 2 more days to build up the nerve. Saturday afternoon. She was at yoga. Her mat was in the trunk. Her yoga pants were spotless. I knew she was lying, but I kissed her goodbye anyway and watched her car disappear down the street. Then I drove straight to Wilton. Same house. Same porch light. I parked a block away, wore a hoodie, kept my head down, made sure no one was watching. Walked right up the front steps, heart pounding so hard I thought it might punch a hole through my chest. Slipped the key in. Click. Door opened without a sound. Inside, it was quiet. Still. Living room was neat. Couch pillows fluffed. Everything smelled faintly of lavender and cologne. I closed the door behind me and stood there for a second, just listening. Nothing. No one. Then I started looking around. No photos. None. Not on the walls, not on shelves. No family portraits, no framed vacations. Just clean surfaces and a few generic art pieces that looked like they came from a hotel lobby. Weird. There were 2 coffee mugs in the sink. One had lipstick on the rim. I went down the hallway. There was a bedroom with rumpled sheets and 2 wine glasses on the nightstand. Her earrings were there. The cheap gold hoops she always wore to run club. She didn't even bother hiding them. Then I saw something that made me stop cold. A jacket. Hung neatly on a hook by the door. One I'd seen before. Mine. But it wasn't actually mine. It was the same brand, same color, same size. But I had mine at home, hanging in the closet. This one had a tear in the sleeve. I didn't. So why the hell did he have my jacket? My stomach twisted. I went back to the living room and checked the bookshelf. Not many books, but some titles we had at home. Some I knew she'd read. A copy of a novel I bought her last Christmas, with her notes in the margins. The guy was reading my gifts to her. I felt sick. I was about to head out when I heard it. A phone buzzed. I froze. It came from the bedroom. I followed the sound. There it was, on the dresser. A phone. Not hers. It buzzed again. The screen lit up. Just a message preview. She's asking about Thursday again. What should I say? No name. Just the number. But it wasn't hers. She hadn't sent that. Someone else had. Someone I didn't know was involved. I didn't touch the phone, didn't dare. But I stood there staring at that message. She's asking about Thursday again. What should I say? Who the hell was she? And more importantly, who was the phone talking to? That message wasn't from Lily. She would have sent it, not received it. That means this M guy, had someone else in on it. Someone helping cover his tracks. Another woman? A roommate? A friend? I left the phone where it was, grabbed the spare towel hanging on the back of the bedroom door, wiped down everything I'd touched just in case, and walked out the same way I came in. Door locked. No sign I was ever there. Drove home in silence, thoughts racing. This wasn't just a fling. This wasn't some quick hotel rendezvous or steamy text exchange. There was planning. There were backup plans. And there was coordination. Which meant one thing. This had been going on for a long time. Long enough to need a system. I got home before she did. Sat on the couch with my laptop and tried to find anything about M. I had the number from the burner phone, so I plugged it into a reverse lookup. Nothing. Unregistered. Probably prepaid. I opened Facebook. Searched the area. Searched her friends list. Nothing jumped out. No name starting with M that fit the type. Then I had a flash of inspiration, went to her Venmo history. It was mostly locked, but a few payments were public from months ago. One of them was to Mark A. Just a pizza emoji and Thursday. That's it. No comments since then. Just that one time. Enough to leave a breadcrumb. Mark A. No last name. No photo. But it was something. She came home around 6:45 that night. Claimed class ran late. I smiled. Asked her if she was sore. She said a little. She had no idea I'd been in the house she'd been sneaking off to for weeks. Or months. No idea I'd seen her earrings, her wine glass, her books, her life split between 2 places. And no idea I now had a name. But what I didn't know was who else knew about all this. Because someone else was messaging Mark. Someone else was helping him keep her in the dark. I spent the whole night obsessing over that one name, Mark A. Every angle I ran hit a wall. No full name. No workplace. No photos. Just that one Venmo transaction from months ago, a pizza slice, and Thursday. But the real lead wasn't him. It was her. Whoever texted him from that phone, saying, "She's asking about Thursday again," was in this. Maybe even deeper than Lily. So instead of chasing Mark, I went after her. I had the number. I bought a burner of my own, typed up a quick message, and sent it. "Hey, it's me. She's asking again. We need to talk." No name. No emojis. Just vague enough to pass. I waited. 10 minutes later, she replied. "Which one? Which one? What the hell did that mean?" I froze. Was she talking about which woman was asking? How many people was this guy seeing? Or was she confused and stalling? I played dumb. Replied. "The usual one. Thursdays. Things are getting messy." Her answer came fast. "Tell her you're out of town next week. I'll handle the rest." Handle the rest? I didn't respond. I saved the thread, turned the burner off, and sat there staring at the wall. This wasn't just a secret affair. This was a goddamn operation. Someone was actively helping him juggle my wife and who knows how many others. Helping lie. Helping cover tracks. Helping manage the damn schedule. And for what? Was Mark rich? Was he blackmailing them? Was it all some twisted game? The next day, I tried looking up his name again. Got nothing. So I made a fake Facebook profile. New photo, new email, generic name. Added a bunch of local people. Friends of friends. Tried to fly under the radar. Then I searched for Mark A. again. And there he was. Different profile pic. But same name. And same pizza emoji in his bio. His profile was locked down tight. But his profile photo? That jacket. My jacket. Same one that was hanging in his house. Now I had his face. And I recognized it. But not from any real-life event. From a photo my wife had shown me years ago. That face stuck with me all night. Mark A. Short beard, sharp jawline, cocky smile. Looked like the kind of guy who'd flirt with the bartender while his date was in the bathroom. I stared at his photo until it clicked. Christmas, 2 years ago. We were at Lily's office party. She dragged me over to meet her coworkers. Most of them were forgettable. Handshakes, polite smiles, stiff conversation. But one guy stood out. Younger, loud, kept making jokes that weren't funny, and called her Lil, like they were best friends. She brushed it off as harmless. Said they used to work on a team project, but he transferred out months ago. That guy was Mark. Back then, I remember thinking he was annoying. The type who always touched your shoulder when he laughed. Too familiar, too fast. And now he's the one with my wife. My head was spinning. I dug deeper. Went through her old Instagram posts. Found one from the holiday party. Blurry selfie, her and a few coworkers. There he was in the background, same jacket, drink in hand, looking right at her. The caption? Best night with the best people #workfamily. Now I knew where he came from. He wasn't just some stranger. He used to work with her. He had access. He had her number. He had trust. And he'd been around longer than I thought. Then came the real kicker. I pulled up her work calendar, the one synced on our shared laptop. I hadn't looked in months. There it was. Every Thursday for the past 11 weeks. Evening strategy sync, off-site. Different titles some weeks. Client dinner. Off-campus review. But always Thursdays. Always vague. And always overlapping with Run Club. I couldn't breathe. I'd been looking for the guy hiding in the shadows, and he'd been standing next to her the whole time, smiling at me, shaking my hand, probably laughing the second I walked away. I wanted to confront her right then. Smash the whole charade. But I still didn't know who the other woman was. The one texting Mark. The one coordinating with him. If I was going to blow this up, I wanted all of them in the blast radius. I started with the number. The one that had texted Mark. The message about Thursday and handling the rest. I still had it saved from the burner phone. I ran it through every reverse lookup tool I could find. Nothing. Prepaid. Disposable. But then I remembered something from months ago. Lily once showed me a photo of her team at a conference. I pulled it up from our shared drive. Everyone was tagged. I scanned each name, then cross-referenced them with her Facebook. It took hours. Then I found her. Jenna M. I didn't recognize her at first. But when I scrolled through her tagged pics, it all made sense. She was in the background of so many photos Lily had taken. Dinners. Work events. Drinks after hours. Always just out of focus. Always there. And her Instagram? Practically a shrine to work bestie energy. There were memes about covering for each other. Posts about loyalty above all. And then, one story post from 3 weeks ago that made my blood run cold. Just a boomerang. 2 wine glasses clinking. Caption. Another perfect Thursday #no questions asked. Thursday. The same night Lily was running. That's when I realized she wasn't just an accomplice. Jenna was managing this. She was the go-between, the scheduler, the excuse factory. If Lily needed a cover story, Jenna supplied it. If Mark needed a buffer, Jenna made sure it stayed clean. They were a triangle, a machine, running smooth. Until I stepped in. I made a new burner and texted her directly this time. "Hey, it's me. We have a problem." She replied instantly. "What happened?" I made up a lie. She's starting to ask questions about the house. Said she saw something off. That got her attention. WTF? What did she see? I was baiting her. But what she sent next nearly made me throw my phone. "Tell her you were visiting my place. Don't mention anything about your real apartment." I'll text her too. She had a script ready. She had a plan. This wasn't just some favor for a friend. Jenna was fully involved, actively protecting the affair, possibly even encouraging it. For what reason? I didn't know, but I was done playing it safe. The next Thursday, I was going to make them think it was just another night. And then I was going to burn it all down. I woke up that morning like it was any other Thursday. Coffee, shower, breakfast with Lily. She barely looked at me. Said she had a late meeting and might stop by Jenna's afterward. Right. I nodded, kissed her on the cheek, and told her to take her time. What she didn't know was that I'd taken the day off. I'd been planning this all week. I had her route timed, her car tracked through an old Bluetooth trick I set up when we shared playlists. I knew where she'd be and when, and I knew Mark would be there waiting. By 6:50 p.m., I was parked 2 houses down from the Wilton house. Hoodie up, engine off. I waited. 6:58, her car pulled in. 7:02, door opened. She went in. I gave it 15 minutes. Enough time for them to get comfortable. Enough time for their guard to drop. Then I got out of my car and walked up the sidewalk. I didn't knock. I used the key. The door opened like it had before. No alarm, no deadbolt. But this time, it wasn't quiet inside. I heard laughter, muffled music, glass clinking. I moved slow, quiet, past the living room, into the hallway. And then I stopped. Their voices, Mark's and Lily's, weren't coming from the bedroom. They were coming from the kitchen. I crept up to the doorway, heart racing. I peeked in. There they were, standing inches apart, laughing over wine. His hand hovered near her. Her foot made contact with his leg. And then I saw it. Jenna. She was sitting at the counter, sipping from her own glass, smiling like she was watching a rom-com. She wasn't just helping them. She was part of it. They were all in this together. I pulled out my phone, took a few photos. No flash, just enough to capture the moment. Their expressions, the contact, the betrayal. And then, without thinking, I stepped into the kitchen. They all turned. Jenna's smile vanished. Mark froze, wine halfway to his mouth. Lily's face went pale, like she'd seen a ghost. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I just held up my phone. Clicked once. Shutter sound filled the silence. No one moved. No one spoke. Then I said, "Smile. This is going to be your last Thursday." The silence shattered like glass. "Wait," Lily shouted, stepping toward me. "This isn't what it looks like." Mark cut in. "Man, you need to calm down." "Wrong move." I laughed, sharp and loud. "Calm down? You've been banging my wife while she lies to my face every week, and I'm supposed to calm down?" Lily looked like she was about to cry, but I didn't give her the chance. I turned and walked out. Didn't run. Didn't slam the door. Just walked. And that's when I heard her footsteps behind me. "Wait. Please, just talk to me," she shouted. I kept walking. She grabbed my arm. I spun on her. "Don't touch me. Please," she said, eyes wide. "It's not. He doesn't mean anything." I didn't want it to be this way. I almost laughed again. "You didn't want it to be this way, but you had a damn key to his house." Jenna came out next, fast walking toward us. "Look, let's talk. We can explain." "Explain what?" I said, turning on her. "How you're the affair concierge. Setting up dates? Lying for them? Telling him what to say when she asks questions? That's not explaining. That's plotting." Jenna looked shaken now, but she was trying to keep it cool. "You don't have to do this the hard way." That caught me off guard. What's that supposed to mean? She lowered her voice. "Look, you want to embarrass her? Fine. You got your pictures. But if you take this public, if you blow this up, there are going to be consequences. She could lose her job. Mark too. A lot of people could get dragged into this." "Oh, now we're negotiating? Consequences?" I said. "You're threatening me now?" Mark stepped out onto the porch then, arms folded. "You need to leave." I stared him down. This your house? Yeah. Then maybe you should tell your guest to shut the hell up before she talks herself into a lawsuit. Lily was crying now. Please, just come home. We'll talk. We can fix this. I looked at her like I didn't even recognize her anymore. And honestly, I didn't. I'll be sending papers, I said. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't even breathe near me unless it's through a lawyer. Then I walked off, left her standing there in the dark, with Mark behind her and Jenna staring at me like she was calculating something. I didn't know what they'd do next, but I knew what I was going to do. The next morning, I woke up early. Not in our bed. Not even in our house. I crashed at a buddy's place. The same guy who told me months ago that something about Lily didn't feel right. I should have listened back then. Now I was listening loud and clear. Step 1, lawyer. I'd already started the process weeks ago, quietly. But now, it was go time. My attorney had everything. Screenshots, burner phone logs, the key, photos from the night before. He looked through it all and said, "You want scorched earth or civil?" I didn't even hesitate. Scorched. Step 2, the company. Remember how Mark and Jenna both work at Lily's company? Yeah, I remembered too. I didn't go public. I didn't blast them on social media. I went directly to HR, anonymous email. Subject line, policy violation, interpersonal relationships. Attached, every piece of evidence I had. Screenshots of the texts. Photos of the kitchen scene. A breakdown of dates, locations, and internal calendar entries. Even that Venmo receipt. By noon, I got confirmation. Thank you. We are conducting an internal investigation immediately. By 3 p.m., my lawyer served Lily at work. She tried to call me. Blocked. She tried my friend. Also blocked. She emailed. I replied with one sentence. All communication goes through my attorney. Then I posted a single message on my private Facebook account, visible only to family and close friends. Sometimes, the person you love the most is the one who buries the knife deepest. But I'm still standing. Divorce is underway. The truth will come out. I didn't name names. But Lily's cousin messaged me within the hour. Oh my God, what did she do? The texts rolled in. Quietly, discreetly, people were choosing sides. Most of them didn't even know what was happening. They just knew I wasn't the type to make a public mess unless something truly awful had gone down. And then, later that night, came the final confirmation. Blocked number. Voicemail. It was Jenna. Jenna. Her voice was shaking. Not with guilt, with panic. Hey, I just want to talk. Please. I know you're angry. I know you're hurt. But this, what you did, it's gone too far. Mark's suspended. HR pulled Lily into a meeting today. Everything's falling apart. Please, can we just talk? No, Jenna. No, we can't. You helped bury a marriage. Now you get to watch what it's like to be under the rubble. 2 days after everything blew up, she showed up at my buddy's house. She didn't knock. Just stood on the porch like a stray dog in the rain. I watched her through the peephole. She looked like hell. No makeup, hair in a mess, hoodie that probably wasn't even hers. Her eyes were red, like she hadn't slept. I didn't open the door. She stood there for 5 minutes. Then she spoke, loud enough for me to hear through the door. Please, just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I didn't know her a damn second. But curiosity, or maybe closure, made me open the door just a crack. She looked up at me, instantly crying. I'm sorry, she said. I messed up. I know. I ruined everything. You're not even close to understanding how bad, I said. She tried stepping forward. I blocked the door. I just need to explain. You've explained enough, Lily. For months. You explained every Thursday. Every fake meeting. Every run club that never existed. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said, tears spilling now. It started off small. Just texting. Just talking. I felt alone, and you were so distant and I cut her off. Don't make this about me. Don't even try. She wiped her face, breathing hard. I ended it. With Mark. It's over. You ended it after I walked into his house. After I took the photos. After I served you papers. That's not ending it. That's damage control. Then she played her last card. I'm pregnant. I stared at her. What? She nodded, hand trembling. I found out last week. I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe if I fixed things with you first, then. I stepped back, just once. Enough for her to see it in my face. You don't even know who the father is. She didn't answer. And that was all the answer I needed. I slammed the door. I stood there on the other side, listening to her cry, Beg, plead. She stayed for maybe 10 minutes more. Then silence. Then footsteps. Then the sound of a car driving off. I went back to the table, sat down, and stared at my phone. Pulled up a new contact. My lawyer. Texted him. There's more. We're going all the way. Because now it wasn't just about the affair. It was about the life she thought she could still manipulate. And I was done playing her game. The divorce process moved fast. Too fast for her. My lawyer made sure of that. With everything we had, photos, messages, witness accounts, proof of coordinated lies through her coworker Jenna, we buried her legally. She lost the house. I kept everything that mattered. She walked away with whatever fit in the trunk of her car. And the pregnancy? We filed for a court-ordered paternity test the moment she claimed it was mine. She stalled, then tried to withdraw the claim. That was a red flag so massive, it practically came with a marching band. We pushed harder. After weeks of dragging her feet, she finally complied. 2 weeks later, the results hit my inbox. 0% chance of paternity. Not mine. Not even close. I didn't call her. Didn't text her. Didn't even send a screenshot. I just forwarded the results to her attorney with a single line. I don't ever want to hear from her again. I thought that would be the end of it. And for a while it was. Until about a month later. That's when Jenna emailed me. Not from her work account. From some burner Gmail. I know you hate me. I deserve it. But you should know, she was seeing someone else too. Not just Mark. I only helped with him. The other guy, I didn't know about until recently. I stared at the screen. Another guy? She included a name. One I didn't recognize. Someone from her gym. Apparently, she started sleeping with him months before Mark even came into the picture. He didn't work with her. Didn't know Jenna. He wasn't part of the plan. He was just the first one. And here I'd been thinking Mark was the one who ruined everything. Nah, Mark was just the one who got caught. She had been lying even to Jenna, her co-conspirator, her best friend. She was living 3 separate lives, the marriage, the affair, and this secret side thing with a random guy who probably didn't even know she was married. And somehow, even after everything I uncovered, she still managed to surprise me. But at that point, it didn't hurt anymore. It was just confirmation. Confirmation that the woman I loved, the woman I married, never really existed. And you know what? I slept like a baby that night. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. I didn't post this for pity. I'm not broken. I'm not bitter. I just wanted to tell the story, from beginning to end, so that maybe someone else going through this kind of slow-motion train wreck realizes. When your gut says something's wrong, believe it. Because sometimes, the mask doesn't fall off. You just finally learn how to see through it.